Did I do welcome? Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, like I said before, I'm just going to ask you 5 questions and you answer them as honest as you would like.
Okay.
So, para la primera pregunta, I feel like you're on a pageant.
Sorry.
¿Cómo te identificas sexualmente y cómo dirías que fue tu experiencia al conocer esa parte de ti?
Eso es algo que todavía como que encuentro difícil decir si soy lesbiana o si soy straight, porque honestamente la mayoría de mi vida yo he sabido solamente de hombres. I don't want to label myself because I don't want to put an image out there that I'm a lesbian and then tomorrow you see me with a man. So, and I don't want to consider myself bisexual because I just don't like that. I just consider myself a very free and open, loving person. I feel more powerful. I feel more in strength.
¿Cuál fue el proceso tuyo de salir del closet? ¿Y qué sería el primer consejo que le darías a alguien que se encuentre al principio de ese proceso? ¿O has salido del closet?
Sí, okay. Sí, definitivamente. Mi experiencia, bueno, yo quería estar segura primero. Yo soy una persona bien secretive, if you will. Quería estar segura que ella era worthwhile because I know I was going to disrupt a lot. So my experience was a little rocky. People didn't believe me. They thought it was a phase. I got angry and I kind of got away from my family. They said hurtful things, not intentionally, and after a while I just didn't care. I just closed myself up on my family and I adopted her family. My tip for those that want to come out, and I know there are a lot of people still struggling with this, if you fear for your safety and you feel that that's going to harm you, it could potentially harm you, try to find another avenue. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to live a lie.
¿Has recibido comentarios negativos por tu sexualidad? ¿Cómo combates esos mensajes?
Honestamente, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. You shouldn't either. Simple as that. They hurt, but if you know that this is who you are, it doesn't hurt you that much.
¿Crees que tu identidad latina afecta de alguna manera tu identidad sexual?
Yo creo que afectó mi familia más que a mí. Honestamente, yo no pienso tanto de eso. I don't think about race. I don't think about sex. We are who we are overall. And I think it affected my family more so than anyone else because tú sabes que los latinos son bien, this is how it is and that's how it's going to be. Tú sabes, las abuelas, they're very traditional. They want you to marry a man. They want you to have a white gown. I can still have that with a woman.
You hear that, abuela? I'm just kidding. Just kidding, abuela. ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta sobre la comunidad y qué crees que podemos mejorar?
Primero voy a empezar con lo que se puede mejorar. Yo creo que hay muchas personas que juzgan, even outside of the community, and I think that needs to change. We are very welcoming as a community. I just think that we need to not judge as hard. There are so many judgmental people within our own community that I see online, that I see in person, that even I see from my own circle. We judge too much. If we love and we want to love and we want people to respect us, why are we judging the next because we're not comfortable with it? I think that needs to change.
What would you say is your favorite part about the community?
The fact that they're open. It's a whole nother family, no matter who you are. I mean, overall, mi novia es así de alta. Yo soy casi 6 pies. Eso es lo que me encanta, a mí no importa. You know? Y ella es la más machúa y yo soy femenina, eso no importa en realidad. Eso es lo que me encanta. Y
I've never heard that word, machúa.
Ella es bien machúa. No, you haven't?
No.
Yeah, so it's machuita, little stud. So I like to see that. We're all flavors, we're all colors, we're all different heights, and that's something that I love. Something that we we also are big on that we fight for our own, no matter who you are. I think it's just it's another family, honestly, and you won't find that with heterosexuals. So that's what I love about the LGBTQ community.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Like a little boy.
How do you identify sexually, and how would you describe figuring out that part of yourself?
I identify as gay. Lesbian works, but I literally just don't like the word. And I mean, it fits women who like women. That is me, a little more than above. That just ended up fitting me better. Just like, oh, what are you? I'm gay. And figuring that part of me was funny because everyone knew before me. Funny enough, I never considered myself heterosexual because of the confusion. I was like, one day I'm just gonna cross that bridge when I get there. But figuring that part of me was such a relief. It's like, okay, all right, no, yeah, right, I'm gay.
What was your coming out process, and what would your first advice be to someone at the beginning of their coming out process?
My coming out process, like I said, it was me figuring out me, that being gay. Like I said, everyone kind of knew before me. But once I came out to me, the process was like, how do I tell family? And once I tell them, because I was a little nervous at first, especially with my mom, who's very open-minded, but still kind of took it as a joke for a while. I knew she would, so I was really nervous about telling her. But then once I did, it was like a straight up, like with anything else I do in life, like I want to be taken seriously. And I was very open about, especially at first, about not knowing 100%, but that in order for me to get to that 100% of what I was, I needed her to take me seriously. So that was very hard. That didn't happen, right then and there. It didn't even happen in a few months. It didn't even happen in a few years. But once it did, it was so easy to do it with everyone else. Like other family members, they kind of gave me shit and acted a certain way, but it was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm good. I'm out. To me, to my mom, my siblings were like amazing, like beyond amazing. My brother and sister. So it's like everyone else can just suck my dick. At the beginning of your coming out process, I would say to figure as much of yourself as you can prior. There's room for change, but you kind of want to have like a solid idea of what you're gonna announce. What are you gonna say? And do it at your own pace. There's no timeline, there's no right way to do it. Do it your way, in a healthy way that's not, gonna put you in any harm, but that is completely your own. It'll make you feel a lot more comfortable doing it your own way. But definitely do it because it's so much better out here. Than just in the shadows of your own mind. So we out here waiting for you.
Have you received any negative comments regarding your sexuality, and how do you combat those comments?
I did at first. A lot of the first negative comments were just in a very humorous way of like, haha, this isn't serious. And they became hurtful because I wasn't being taken seriously. And like I said, I love to joke around, but like any other human, I want to be taken serious when I'm serious. And the way that I got through them and, combat them is just by by not giving a fuck, but just by also knowing that there are a lot of people out there who do a lot of shit and hide it, and I'm not one of those people. Like, I could be them, you know, talking negatively about other people because I have all this shit that I have inside that I'm keeping secret, or I can be happy and joking and living my life and doing what I want to do and not having all those feelings inside because I'm myself. Like, I have nothing to hide.
Right.
I mean, I have a few things to hide. But in terms of my sexuality, I don't.
Does your Latina identity affect your sexual identity?
In some ways, yes. I grew up in a very huge Latino family. Breaking a lot of molds at the time. It wasn't just gay. You know, my mom kind of knew, like, well, Erica's not the marriage type. It's like, okay, well, you know, at least she likes guys, so she'll have a boyfriend, and it'll get to that bridge, and then it's like, okay, Erica doesn't, if she does get married, she doesn't want to get married in a church because she doesn't fuck with that either. It's like, okay, it's like, now you're gay. But yeah, I think that in terms of my mom, it was just like a lot that I was throwing at her at once, and she is a Latina who believes in those values. She may have tweaked it in her own life, but she definitely believes in them. And the image, I guess, that I most present of myself is more feminine than not. So a lot of people naturally associate, like, Latin women with femininity and, you know, that. And to have that, and it's like, that's not for a guy. So, and I think in those terms, it really affected how people viewed me as a Latina. It was just like another thing to add. People don't like to add things. They like to have you figured out, and then that's it. And it's like, nope, on top of that.
What do you like most about the LGBTQ community, and what do you believe can be improved?
What I like most is the fun and alive aspect of the community. We're a lively bunch. Like, we just are. It's rare where you go even in a smaller environment and not find this, like, energy. I love, like Zahira said, we really do fight for our own. Like, in terms of being within the community, sometimes we can dog each other, but it's like a family. Like, you know, you call your sister X, Y, and Z, but let someone else call your sister X, Y, and Z, is like, I'm gonna beat her ass.
Right.
So it's like, I can call you that, but nobody else can call you that. But in terms of improving, I think that we shouldn't call each other that, because certain words and things give way for other people to think about us that way. So it's just like, if we can tone that part down and amped up the being us and the being inclusive, we can definitely always include more. There's more to come. There's more we don't know about. Sometimes we can push people away because we're human at the end of the day. So even though we are a part of this wonderful community, we are human and we judge, and something new comes out that we may have not heard of before, and, you know, like I said before, we'll be the first to be like, that's not right, honey. But it is. And we want those people to come in and be comfortable and be themselves and join the fucking party. We can use more people. It's never enough.
That's a wrap.
Thanks. I would just like to thank Zahira for being a part of this video, Erica for being a part of this video. She's behind the scenes. I heard her. Yeah. And if you'd like to be a part of this video project, hit me up, slide in my DM. Your mom does anyway. Go ahead and do it too.
Okay.